Lori here. I'm here today to do the end of my April reading wrap up. I actually had a really good reading month this month. I wound up reading overall my complete stats are I wound up reading 15 books and I wound up listening to like 4 books, which I think is super impressive. I have no idea what May is going to bring because the end of May is BEA and BookCon, and I do have some reading readathons planned, and I will talk more about that in my May TBR, so keep a nose out for that. But let's get into the last books that I wound up reading in the later part of April. The first book that I finished reading in April was From the Earth and Shadows by Amanda Hocking. This video posts, it will be on a Monday, and my review and my giveaway that I'm hosting on my channel is going to be on the Tuesday. That is a blog focused giveaway, so be sure to read my review and go enter there. You could be entered to win a paperback copy of the second book in that series. Overall, I thought this was a really solid duology. I thought the world building was spectacular. I thought that the characters were so much fun. I loved the world and I was really invested. I found it to be a really, really quick read. The mythology was like some of my favorite, and I really like mythology books, and I just really found it fun. I thought the romance was a little bit forced at points, and I would have liked not that romance, but I like the relationship. So I would have liked it to be more like a friendship, like going to save your best friend. But overall, I really liked it and I gave it 4 stars. I would definitely consider reading more by Amanda Hocking in the future, but I really enjoyed it and the series did impress me, and I will consider checking out a couple of her other books that are currently on my shelf. But yeah, that's my thoughts about From Earth to Shadows. Just remember to go enter my giveaway on my blog because you could be entered to win a paperback copy. And I really enjoyed it, and that's my thoughts overall. The next book that I read was a reread for me, and that is Everland by Wendy Spinella. I did receive an ARC from Scholastic of the third book, and I really needed to reread this book. This was an Owl Crate book that I got like 2 years ago. I really enjoyed it when I read it, and I loved rereading it. This is definitely going to be one of those books and book series that I keep on my shelves. Either that or I'm going to get the audiobooks. I haven't quite decided, but I do like these covers. I really loved rereading. I loved getting back into these characters' heads. I said the world building in this is spectacular. Her take on how she created Everland in this, like Never Neverland, was spectacular. I love the point of view characters, and I was really impressed, and I was really excited to dive into Umberland, which you'll see at the tail end of this video, because I did wind up reading that. But overall, I liked this. I gave it 4.5 stars, and it was such a fun read. This is like a perfect series, I think, that is like a cup series between middle grade and YA. So if you have like a reader that you're almost thinks ready to venture into YA, I would recommend this series because I think that it's a super really good cusp series because the characters are really young, but they do have older characters in it, and I overall really enjoyed it. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Everland by Wendy Spinella. And this came from Owl Crate a couple years back, but overall I really enjoyed it. The next book that I wound up reading was my final book that I got from New York City Comic Con, and I got an ARC of it, but I wound up trading my ARC for something else. So this is a finished copy that I picked up from Barnes & Noble, and it's Ash Princess by Laura Sebastian. This book also corresponds with the Pop Sugar Reading Challenge because my name, if you have been not listening to me, is Laura. I love this book. I gave this book 5 stars. I thought it was so good. I'm going to do like a non-spoiler review about this because I think that it deserves it. I have some plans early this week, so I'm going to try to get it filmed by the end of the week. But overall, I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. It involved all of my favorite tropes into a nice little package, and I thought that Thora, the lead, was such a unique heroine, and I was really impressed by it. One of my favorite princess myths and princess stories is Anastasia, and for some reason this story just really screamed Anastasia vibes to me, and I really liked it. Cannot wait for book 2. I'm so sad I have to wait like a year for it. Hopefully one of the conventions has some arcs that I can snag, but overall I really enjoyed it, gave it 5 stars, and I will definitely be doing a video review, so keep an eye out for that as well. The next book that I read was Annette Gellipick, and I'm actually on a tour for this, and they are hosting a giveaway. So when you go see my tour post for Spies, Lies, and Allies, there will be a link in the description, like in the comment about a giveaway that they're hosting, so be sure to enter that. But I really like this book. have a video where I talk about two of the contemporary summer constellations and this one, so if you want more information about those books, go talk about that. And I also talk about all the giveaways in there as well. But overall, I think that this was probably one of the most fun contemporaries I read this year, and I definitely gave it 4.5, 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I love books that involve around internship themes and working, and it was just really, really fun. If you want to know more about the story, go check out that video because I talk a little bit more about it. But overall, it was just super, super fun. Such a fun read that had a little bit more of like an emotional punch to it. I really did like it and had a lot of fandom connections. There was a lot of Star Wars love. If you're a Star Wars fan, I think you'll really, really like this book because the lead is like obsessed with Star Wars. There is some con experiences, con adventures that I really liked, and I really liked the romance that's developed, but also the bonding between all the kids that you met at the internship was one of the highlights of this book for sure, and I really liked it. The next book I read is also a book that I got from a tour, and it's Summer Constellation from Melissa 70. I am hosting a giveaway of this book on my channel for YouTube, so if you're subscribed to my channel, you can enter it. You just have to go to my blog, or the link will be in that post, so just go to Laura's Bookish Corner and look for the Summer Constellations and you will find the giveaway post. Overall, I really like this. I gave it like 3.5 stars. I do talk about the plot and everything in that video, so go check that out. But I found it super fun, and it definitely had more, it was definitely more of like a swoony romance, but I really liked it. Definitely did deal with more harsher issues, as I said previously, but I really did like it. I would have liked the other characters other than the lead and her love interest to be a little bit more fleshed out. And I would have liked to explore the world a little bit more because it was set on like a beachfront resort place or like a waterfront. And I really did like the setting. I just wanted a little bit more out of the other characters in the story. But overall, I gave it 3.5 stars, and I would definitely consider reading more by this author in the future. Don't forget to go enter the giveaway because you could win this copy, which is very nice. The next book I read, I actually read like the last 100 pages of this when I was reading Ash Princess. I finished Ash Princess when I went to my Keegan Allen signing, and this is the only book I had in my bag. So I started reading Umberland, and then I came home and I wound up reading a couple of other books, but then I finished this, and this is the second book in the Everland series. Well, the first book was definitely like a retelling of a story set in Never Neverland. This book was a retelling of Wonderland, and I really loved it. Wendy Spinella does great, what's it called? Um, like, gothic, or like, just turns her stories on its head, and I loved it. Also, we got different main characters in this. The two leads were Pete and Alyssa, who's the Duchess, which is where that they go. They're still trying to hunt for a cure, so this was more like an adventure story, but I loved like the various point of view characters that we got. I loved her world building in this. I thought that it was so well done. I really hope to read Aslan in May because I want to finish this series and have it complete. But overall, I really, really liked it. I will definitely do a series wrap up when I'm done, so keep a nose out for that. But overall, this was such a fun read and I really enjoyed it. I had a pretty solid listening month this month as well. I wound up randomly picking up Batman Nightwalker as like an audiobook, and I loved it. I thought it was spectacular. I love the story. I love the characters. I will be hosting a giveaway of this book in early July, so keep a nose out, and I will probably do a video review about that as well. So just go check that out. But I love the audio listening experience, so much so that I already requested Wonder Woman Warbringer from my library, even though I do have a signed copy, because I love the listening experience for superhero books, and I might actually wind up trying to do that because I have so many superhero books that I want to read, and I just don't have enough physical time. So this book was like such a joy. I actually was in the process of cleaning my room, which you will eventually see my room tour, and I listened to this book the entire time I was cleaning it, and it was such fast paced. I loved Bruce. I loved the characters that we met. I thought the mystery was super interesting. This book is like really short. It's like just under 230 pages, and I loved it. I was so captured by it. I don't normally love DC characters, but I really, really love this one. I would definitely be interested in a sequel following this character, and I loved Mary Will's writing. I thought some of the twists were so well done and so well crafted, and I really enjoyed it. So be sure to check out my review and my giveaway that I'll be hosting in July. The next book that I wound up listening to was This Is Me by Chrissy Metz. I did wind up meeting her, but she also reads the audiobook, and she's just hysterical, and I had to have her tell me the story, and that's how I chose to experience this novel. I really loved it, and I gave it 4 stars. I found this book to be the perfect mix between her biography and also like life lessons from Chrissy Metz. I really liked it, and I just enjoyed it. It was just a fun listen, and I will definitely listen to it again in the future, especially because like she talked a lot about like changes in her life, and like I'm going through a lot of changes in my life with job hunting and stuff, and I just loved having her in my ears when I was job hunting. It just made me smile. So if you're a This Is Us fan, if you like her as like a celebrity or just like a strong woman in Hollywood, I highly recommend you check out not only her life story because I think it's really interesting, but also like the life tips she gives because I found them really really helpful as well. May is like a really busy month. Booked a lot of books come out in May, so I'm actually on two book tours that I'm actually in the middle of reading the books now. So I'm going to attach pictures of them here. From Untangled, and one of these is from another bookstore company. And I normally really dislike reading books on my computer. It just gives me like a headache. But Family of Spies is on my computer, and I really hope to finish that before the end of May. I'm just dragging my feet because it's like a Canadian book, so you can only get it through the company, and they didn't have any e-arc, so I'm reading it on my computer, and I'm also reading Perfectly Misunderstood, which I actually just wound up buying the physical copy so I can read it on my Kindle. So those two books I hope to finish by tomorrow. We will see. But overall, I'm really enjoying them, and definitely check out my tour posts when they go up in the middle of May. But yeah, so that's all the stuff that I wound up reading in the month of April. I had a really good reading month, and I am really excited to see what May brings. I have a lot of exciting book plans for May and a lot of various announcements. So be sure to check out my May TBR video, which I'm going to be filming next. But yeah, let me know in the comments what was your most exciting read for the month of April. I think if I consider like all of my books together, I really enjoyed Ash Princess like a lot. I also really enjoyed Umberland. I think my favorite listen was This Is Me by Chrissy Metz. And Listen to Your Heart by Casey West was another one that I really liked. But yeah, so those are just the highlights of my reading month. And yeah, I'm really excited to see what May brings, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.